Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Future Summit. I'm June Sarpong, and I'm excited to be your host again for this year's summit, powered by the Segal Family Foundation and the BMW Foundation. So, what's different this year? The summit comes to you in a fresh and fun format. We are literally all zoomed out at this point. So we've worked hard to make this a space to shake that off and to be inspired by the change makers you'll meet today. This platform allows us to meet one another and build relationships. Let's start out by finding out who is here right now. So please type into the chat and let us know where you're joining from. Just so you know, I'm coming to you from the UK. Oh, and I can see we've got people from Kenya, Germany, wow, New Jersey. Welcome to all of you. So wonderful to have you here. This really is a global event. So let's get ready for some authentic, thought-provoking conversations, all centered on the Africa we want. We have a great lineup for you today, covering topics on investment, technology, sustainability, and more. We'll be zooming in on innovations across the continent through virtual site visits on the ground in Uganda, Malawi, Rwanda, and Tanzania, and our spotlight features from Tunisia, Kenya, and more. Be sure to stay tuned.
Hello everyone, welcome to Zanzibar. We are City and the band, and we are going to take you in a paradise journey. Let's enjoy! Nimezama subira nimemshika ahadi naweka kamwe sitamtupa ila tamaa nikara kamwe sitokata tamaa ahadi naweka kamwe sitamtupa miaka imepita subira nimemshika ahadi naweka kamwe sitamtupa ila tamaa nikara kamwe sitokata tamaa ahadi naweka kamwe sitamtupa tamaa si rafiki kimiani subira ndo rafiki mshikeni you. Thank you so much.
Now it's time to focus on impact investment in Africa. According to a recent article in the Stanford Social Innovation Review, an analysis on global impact investment trends for the upcoming 10 years highlights that backing diversity and inclusion, climate-focused innovations, and improved standards and tools might continue to be the observed trends, allowing impact investment to bridge more gaps in the coming decade. Our correspondent Frank Azwani from the Africa Venture Philanthropy Alliance has more to share on some of these very interesting trends. Frank, over to you.
Thank you, June. It's great to be here today. Now let's look at funding and investment landscape across Africa. The problem: Africa needs between $500 billion and $1.2 trillion annually between now and 2030 to meet its SDG financing goals. With declining aid and growing government debt across the continent, we need to find other sources of capital to fund our social investment needs. So what's the solution? Where can Africa source for capital? The private capital markets globally have over $250 trillion. How can Africa tap into these markets for social financing? What will it take? It will take collaboration amongst non-traditional partners, grant makers, and private capital providers, blending both their capital and skills if we're able to mobilize capital at the required speed and scale while building sustainable and innovative solutions to our social challenges. So what's the changing role of philanthropy? Philanthropy is a bridesmaid in unlocking capital for social investments. Without philanthropy, we will not be able to mobilize private capital and hence not meet our desired impact goals. Philanthropy can de-risk social investment and take the risk to test new markets, products, and services with follow-on capital from private players, broadly coming in to scale proven models. This, however, means that philanthropists have to see their role evolving from being traditional and pure grant makers to also seeing themselves as catalytic investors. AVPA did a landscape study. Aid is declining by as much as 20% in Southern Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa is on course to meet only 2 of its 17 2030 SDG targets. DFIs and donors account for over 70% of non-governmental social investment funding. Rising government debt and low tax collection is limiting government's ability to effectively fund social needs. Corporate social giving is driving social investment. Angel investing is small, but growing with over 54 angel networks across Africa under ABAN. We also saw a rise in gender-lens investing. The social sector is also slowly leveraging diaspora funding. So what are some of the investment trends we're seeing? The first trend is availability of capital, grants, and equity. Post-COVID, grants will continue to reduce, not only due to the large amounts given so far to fight the pandemic, but also because of the depressed economic climate. In Africa, most of our grants money will only be given once it's been made from business and the private sector. Compared to the West, Africa grant money tends to come from income rather than from wealth. So it has to be made first before it can be distributed and will generally be affected by economic cycles. Private capital will avoid risk in the short term. To attract capital into social investments, we need to use grants to de-risk social investments. How much of the investment going to social ventures is coming from local sources? According to the African Private Equity and Venture Capital Association study, North America headquartered investors accounted for 42% of all African venture capital deals in the last 5 years. Only 20% of venture cash came from Africa-based investors, forcing the continent's entrepreneurs to seek support from Westerners. In Kenya, for instance, only 6% of startups that received more than $1 million in 2019 were led by locals. In Nigeria, 55%, and in South Africa, 56% accordingly. According to a 2017 study by Village Capital, 10% of funding for startups went to local funders across the East African region. So what's the opportunity? What sectors are underserved? Promising sectors and industries are those that are waning. Promising sectors with huge potential for impact, including job creation, are the following: agribusiness, where we look at innovative production and processing, energy, especially renewable energy, tech, especially when you're looking at education, health and energy, gender and climate. What are some of the challenging sectors? These are the ones that will be mainly likely to be most affected by the decline in aid. However, they also suffer from some of the biggest opportunities for innovation as seen during the COVID crisis. And they include healthcare and education. In conclusion, Africa presents some of the most exciting opportunities for impact investors, and we welcome you to collaborate with us in driving change on the continent.
Many roles, one goal. Establishing Tunisia as an IT destination, as a tech destination. Hi, my name is Emel Saiden. I'm from Tunisia. I believe happiness and fulfillment is a choice, and I chose to stay in my home country and lead out of Tunisia with purpose. I'm an electrotechnical engineer by training, studied in Germany, and decided to go back to Tunisia to contribute to seizing this massive opportunity that stands before us, digital transformation. After 10 years in tech multinationals, I landed in entrepreneurship space and have discovered the power of being part of something that's bigger than ourselves. Together with other entrepreneurs, other inspiring entrepreneurs, I have co-founded Tunisian Startups, which is the association giving a voice to the Tunisian startup ecosystem and connecting it to the world. I'm also part of a government committee giving labels to innovative and scalable startups, and we count today more than 500 startups with labels, but also a diverse ecosystem of enablers and fundraisings making headlines. From a business perspective, I saw that venture building is a model that can contribute to growing, sound and international startups and filling in a gap in startup ecosystems in Africa.
Elevating Tunisia and Africa as a space for tech.
I have co-founded BetaCube. BetaCube is a venture builder that grows tech startups in fintech.
For value creation, for opportunities.
For a sound digital economy, we need innovative startups, but we also need digital-ready SMEs. Digital economies also need markets. They need partners, together with entrepreneurs from everywhere, based on a digital collaboration space, remote-friendly, that can help us, that support us, seize this leapfrogging opportunity in Africa.
I'd love to say a visionary in the Kenyan culinary scene. I see how much potential there is in the hospitality industry. My name is Lesiamono Lesempele. I am a chef, content creator, hospitality consultant, and a culinary ambassador for Kenyan food. The COVID-19 pandemic has had devastating effect in an industry that accounts for over 1.1 million jobs. My main aim is to showcase the various career and entrepreneurial opportunities that the younger generation of African chefs can explore by encouraging them to invest their skills in improving the African hospitality, taking it from the basic level that it currently stands to globally accepted standards. We have brilliant culinary professionals that have stepped up to the challenge by investing in this potential. Through developing affordable culinary institutions that allow young people to access quality education, and supporting sustainable hospitality businesses that will encourage the development of an elevated local food culture. The youth can break away from the norm by being entrepreneurs who create quality employment opportunities, exploring a new approach to food, instead of relying on employment. This will open up people to the endless possibilities that are yet to be tapped. This is my vision for the future of Kenyan food culture.
Now it's time to talk about my favorite subject, food, with a specific focus on the food industry in Africa. I don't know about you folks, but I'm starting to get a little hungry. Did you know that the food industry in sub-Saharan Africa contributes to more than 20% of the continent's GDP? Clearly, agriculture still constitutes a massive social and economic footprint. Did you also know that if agriculture continues to be intensified, Africa could be 2 to 3 times more productive, reducing the drastic numbers in food imports, roughly by 15 billion in food crops alone, and leading to more than $160 billion of internal revenues by 2025. Someone who is no stranger to this industry is Ndidi Okonwo-Nwenli, serial entrepreneur and expert on African agriculture and nutrition. She's being interviewed today by none other than Andrea Thompson, Editor-in-Chief of Marie Claire. Over to you, Andrea.
Thank you very much, June. Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm really delighted to be here. And I'm with Ndidi Okonwo-Nwenli, and we're going to be doing the next interview together.
Many linkages to some of the colonial powers, to the military regimes, and these individuals continue to hold us back in the political landscape. Thankfully, there are young, dynamic leaders emerging in the private sector and the public sector, but we have to address the challenges in the political landscape because they are paramount to addressing an enabling environment for the private sector and the nonprofit sector to thrive. So for the sector.
Great. I mean, it's fantastic, some of the work that you've done. I just wondered what the role of African youth was in the future of agribusiness, though, across the continent, and how digital innovation plays into that.
So African youth are truly what get me excited about this sector and about the continent. 70% of our population is under 35. And these young people understand digital technology and innovation. They know how to use it.
What do you think, I mean, aside from this idea that, you know, Africa is poor and it can't feed itself, what other pervasive narratives do you think that, you know, we need to kind of really wipe away and say, you know, these just don't exist? And, you know, what messages do we need to get out there?
The narrative that African food is not featured on the global platform is, for me, an atrocity. Africa has some of the best food in the world. We have 54 African countries that have diverse cuisine that's tasty, that's nutritious, that's healthy. And guess what? The world already consumes our cuisine without realizing it. So we have contributed to, you know, food history. We have already shaped food ecosystems, and we are going to take back our place on the global food stage. Well, the first thing I would say is the future is Africa, and the future belongs to young Africans. I believe all Africans, first, second, third generations, can become innovators in our ecosystem, wealth creators and job creators. So join me in this adventure to transform Africa, because the future belongs to us. And if not now, when? And if not us, who? It's time for us to change narratives about our continent, but it's also time for us to build those bridges between Africa and the rest of the world and become the innovators that will transform this continent. The first myth we have to change is that Africans are not strategic or philanthropic. Africans are the most generous groups of people, and data shows that Africans rally around each other in times of need, in times of joy. At African Philanthropy Forum, we say Africa for Africans. And we believe that we as Africans hold the future of our continent in our own hands. And together we can recreate this future that we all aspire for. A future where every African child grows up in a safe and healthy environment and can fulfill their highest potential on the continent and live a full and meaningful life. We're inching towards that, and with Africans leading the future of their continent and working collaboratively with other African philanthropists, building local organizations, I think we're going to start seeing that momentum and that narrative change.
Let's check in on Malaika, a wonderful organization based in the DRC. We're going to be speaking to their country lead, Sarah. So Sarah, hi, how are you doing? Let us know what you're working on.
Thank you, June. I'm the country manager of Malaika, where we are empowering the next generation of leaders. And we are so excited to take you on a site visit so you can see all the wonderful work we are doing here. Thank you.
That's so exciting. I can't wait to see what you have planned for us. And Sarah and all of the Malaika family, I look forward to visiting myself very soon.
Hi, my name is Sandra, and I am very, very happy to welcome you all to the Future Summit 2021. We from the BMW Foundation are delighted and feel very honored to welcome all of you today. We really deeply believe on the power of people, and this summit is just about the people. It's not about what, it's about who. The Future Summit 2021 has provided us the opportunity to collaborate. We from the BMW Foundation and our partners from the Siegel Family Foundation are very, very humbled and very, very proud to be part of this project. We're eager to listen and to bring all the voices that we can collect and the inspiration from Africa to the world.
Welcome also on behalf of the BMW Foundation's team. As Sandra just mentioned, it's been a beautiful collaboration that has happened between the Siegel Family Foundation and the BMW Foundation. Really two organizations that are aligned in their spirit of focusing on people that have made this Future Summit come to life. And what's been particularly meaningful to me is to see the two networks and communities merge and collaborate for the Future Summit. And in that spirit of collaboration and connection, I want to invite you to take this opportunity to connect to each other, get to know each other, and hopefully form some long-term bonds with fellow participants.